Hey, this is Russ. I am on my way to visit Donut Jim. Yeah, I told him that I would come by today. This is his final day at the farmer's market. Farmer's market closes the end of October. Today being October 30th. This is his final day there. I think the farmer's market opens twice a week during the winter months, something like that. I think that's what I read. I don't know why people would do it out there, freezing out there during the winter months, but he finishes up his season. So I said I'd stop by and say hi. Another reason I'm out is the weather is about 52 degrees with a little bit of wind, so it's a little bit chilly out here. But I had installed my hydraulic brakes. These are the brakes I got from EBikes. It's not a full hydraulic system. It's using the standard bike cable, keeping my same levers on my hands here. So the motor cut off and everything is still there. But the brakes themselves are hydraulic. The calipers are hydraulic. So I put it on there, and I did a test ride the very next day for a very short time because it's been raining here for the last several days. And it works out pretty good. So is it game changing? No, I don't think so. I wasn't expecting it to be so. What I'm expecting it to do is I'll have less requirements to adjust the brakes on a daily basis. When I was riding, I'd have to check my brakes every single day before heading out because the brake pads, they start wearing down a little bit, the adjustments move around, and so you've got to check it every single day just to be safe. So the hydraulic brakes require less of this type of adjustment constantly, and rather than one side of the brake pad moving, which is what happens on a mechanical disc brake, the hydraulic brakes, both sides move. Kind of reminds me of the center pole brakes I had on my mountain bike, where both sides move rather than just one side. And it definitely stops better than the mechanical brake. But the thing is, I've never had a full hydraulic brake system ever, and so I don't know how well a full system would work. I'm assuming it would be much better, because if you watch any of these YouTube videos of guys that are riding mountain bikes, when they pull on their brakes, all they do is one finger. I use at least 2, sometimes 3 fingers to pull on my brakes. These guys are doing it with one finger, so that kind of tells you how sensitive those brakes are. Part of me feels that maybe that's too sensitive for me. I want to be able to feather it a little bit, have a little bit more play there, and that might make it a little bit harder to do. So, and then of course the motor. The motor inhibitor cable, that they don't have it on that. So unless you have specific brakes made so that it also takes care of the motor cutoff on your controller, you really can't use just any hydraulic brake. So the easiest route was simply to change out the calipers, leave the cable system there, and then deal with it that way. Now I did change out the cable from the front brake. I left the cable housing, it's the same original cable housing, but the actual cable inside has been changed over. And the reason for that is because I adjusted so many times that the cable was fraying. I lost several strands already, so I said it's time to change it. So I bought that on Amazon, and I just never changed it. I was just waiting for the brakes to come in before I did it, and that was easy enough to do. I just cut off the ends of the cable and then pulled it all the way through, took it out, put in the new ones, slid it right back into the same housing and everything. So the update was relatively simple for the first brake, but it was a lot harder for the rear brake. The front brake was easier to do. The rear brakes, at least on the radrover, they don't use the spacer bar that's included with the brakes. They use the spacers. So the spacers are just washers. So there was a series of washers on one side of the caliper, and then series of, there was 2 on one side and 3 on the other side. So they were using washers to space the difference on the rear brake. So that made it a little bit tougher. And of course, I didn't take the tires off. I didn't move the panniers or anything like that. So those things were kind of in the way as I was adjusting it. Front brakes, I would say, took me maybe 10 minutes to do. It was pretty fast. Rear brakes probably took me about 20 because of those issues. But overall, I would say I'm happy with the conversion. It is definitely better than the mechanical brake. It stops a lot quicker. I can see that any adjustment I do is just one little screw adjustment. I don't need any tools. I just have to turn it to make it tighter if I need to, and I can adjust it. So I set up the brakes for the levers here that gives me a little bit more positive feel to the pull, and it's working out really good. So happy for that. Now, this very well may be my last ride for the year. I looked at the weather for next week, and I think it's dropping into the 40s. So yeah, it's going to be a little too cold. I don't think I can head back out. So I've been prepping my batteries, trying to leaving them at around a 70% level, or let's say 3 to 4 bars out of 5, something like that, on a scale. And so after this ride, I'll do the same thing. I won't charge it to the full 100% level because it's just going to go into storage at that point. And if it does, you don't want 100% battery level for storage for months on end. You want to be at around 70 to 80% at most. So I already dropped the other battery down. This is the battery that's on the triangle right now. So you probably recognize this path. We've done this many times already. It's the same way we go to the post office, because the farmer's market is actually in the train station parking lot, which is just a couple blocks away from the post office. So I figured I'd take you guys out at least one more time. Like I said, this probably will be the last one. Now, I've been saying that for the last couple of videos, because if the weather does get better, I may just jump back out and do another ride. You never know. But based on next week's prediction of 40 degrees, I don't think we're going to get any better weather going forward. I think it's going to stay pretty much code. What's going on here? These guys are traffic directing here. I don't think I've seen the police out here directing traffic before. I don't know why. Good work. The guy says good work. Yeah, it's good work because I'm not pedaling as much as a typical bike would pedal. So anyways, so yeah, we'll visit with Donut Jim. He's usually not on camera, so I'll shut down, and then I'll take up again when I head back. Yeah, this is a relatively easy ride to do. It's really only a couple of streets I gotta go on. So there you have it. That's the update. Brakes are doing well. Happy with them. They're kind of expensive for what they are, but easier to deal with. All right, so I'm here at the farmer's market. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I spent some time visiting with Donut Jim, and yeah, he was busy. He had a lot of people buying donuts. Didn't get a chance to talk too much, but it was good to see him. And we were saying that the weather is just going to get worse going forward. So who knows if either one of us will be out on the bike after today. So tomorrow is Halloween, today being October 30th. Tomorrow is Halloween. I expect we'll have more kids coming out. I know last year we had very few kids. You know, at our home we'd get probably 140 or so kids. And I think last year we only had in the mid-30s maybe, something like that. Not a whole lot. But this year, kids are back in school and everything. It should be okay. I think there'll be more kids coming out. And like I said, it rained for the last couple of days in this area. But today, Saturday and Sunday, we should have decent, well, relatively decent non-wet rainy days. So the kids will be out, I'm sure. And being a Sunday makes it a little bit easier. They don't have to come in like after school or anything like that. Alright, so yeah, it's still kind of chilly. So I'm just going to head back home. I'm not going to go any further today. I just wanted to make this ride to get out here to visit Jim. And, part of me says I should go riding around more, but man, it is still chilly. It's when the wind hits you, that's when it starts getting really bad. You know, when you're riding forward and the wind hits you in the face, you can feel it. So yeah, if this is the final one, I appreciate everybody watching for this season. Keep watching Russ's Ride. We're going to have other things coming up. We may not be on the bike, but we'll be talking about other stuff. So anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, stay subscribed, and I will talk to you guys next time.